So I want to give you one of the things that I think have been true keys to any success that I've had the good fortune to enjoy. And that is the the concept of 1% better every day. And I know this is a very kind of general thing that I'm sure you've heard before, but I truly believe that consistent small wins, that those small victories day after day over time are what yield success. It's very rare that somebody just all of a sudden has this windfall where they all of a sudden go from here to here overnight, right? Like it is those small consistent actions, those small consistent choices that are smart, that move you towards where you're trying to go, that cumulatively add up day after day after day until you get the outcome that you want. And for me, that has been maybe the most important thing when I look at any success that I've had. I mean, if we think about like with me, so many of the people that I connect with through Virtual Fitness Mastermind or any of our coaching programs, almost everybody originated with a relationship through the daily email that I send out and have been sending out for over a decade without exception every day. And each of those is just a small consistent win because it's kind of moving that relationship forward. It's continuing that relationship and hopefully adding value to somebody else's life to the point that maybe they feel like, hey, you know what? I'm ready to move this relationship forward. Pat can help me get where I'm trying to go, build my ideal business, and it evolves that way. But it's that cumulative success. It's so much like just simple investing, right? 1 plus 1 plus 1 doesn't equal 3 if we add that up over time. I mean, it might equal 10 if you get that compound effect going, that compound effect of all the things that you do, the sum is greater than the parts. And so many of us, we're very reactive to our day. We don't wake up with a plan of how am I going to inch my business forward today, day after day after day. And what I found is being a baseball guy, I've always kind of used the phrase hitting singles. I want to hit a single every day. And you know what? Occasionally you kind of stumble into hitting a home run and you make a bigger leap towards where you're trying to go than you probably planned for. And that's great, but the focus is that day after day, that single. But if like, let's say this were a football field that I'm trying to cover and my ideal business is the end zone. Well, I want to gain, a yard a day, even if I have to. And I'm okay because I'm willing to ride it out day after day. So 100 days down the line, 300 days down the line, 3 years down the line, I'm going to stay at it. And I know that one of the things that will allow me to separate from competition is perseverance. Just consistency and staying the course, because we see it. We see it in our own lives, right? People that struggle are usually the people that jump from shiny object to shiny object. They're the clients that come in to see us that, they jump from this workout plan to that diet plan and there's never any consistency of staying the course. They don't follow through day after day. We see it in our own business. We don't do one particular marketing tactic or stick with one program enough to really maximize the effectiveness of it. So if you think about how you're going to win, doing something daily is probably the easiest competitive advantage that you potentially have at your disposal, but it's the one the fewest of us lean towards. Let me give you a couple examples of how this could work for you. So let's say that your goal is to build either an online or an offline business, but you know that the driver for this is a relationship with an audience, right? Be it online or offline, we need an audience. We need to have a pool of people to connect with to offer what we have to sell. And the easiest thing to do is usually what we don't do. And that is say, okay, I'm going to go out and add 3 people to my daily, my email list each and every day. Now, if over the next year you added 3 people to your email list a day, we'd have over 1,000 people. 3 people a day. Now, 1,000 people for a local business is probably enough of an email list if you're connecting with them and building a relationship and adding value to be the number one marketing driver in that business. 1,000 people. Now, in a local market, you might be able to add an email subscriber for a couple dollars a day. And maybe it costs you a little bit more than that depending on your market. But so we're talking spending $6 a day to get 3 new people. $6 a day. I mean, some people spend that on coffee in a day. And at the end of a year, you would have enough of an audience that could be kind of the golden goose for your business. The gift that keeps on giving over time, because those are going to be the people that can come in, that you can promote challenges to, that you can promote programs to. Those are going to be the people that eventually can introduce you to other people and grow that audience exponentially. In offline business, it's that simple. Online business, yeah, I mean, maybe you need a couple thousand people instead of 1,000, but the concept still works. If you were just saying, okay, I'm going to spend $10 a day on ads no matter what, and I'm never going to shut them off. I will tweak the ads, I'll improve them, but my job is to build a list. At the end of a year, you're going to have 2,000, 2,500 people, and that's enough for you to have that profit center. Maybe it's not a virtual second location that matches your profit from your first location, but it's at least going to be adding, probably $1,000 a month to your personal income if you do that. And that's something that you can keep doing over time. So that sort of day after day, consistent incremental progress, that's just one example of how it works. But let's think, right now, Facebook Live is a really big thing. I mean, let's think that if all you did was do a Facebook Live video, every day, excluding holidays and maybe Sunday, right? So let's say, over the course of the year, you've done 275 Facebook Live videos. How much more reach would you have? How many more people would you have paying attention to you? But even beyond that, how much better would you be at that after practicing it 275 times? How much would you have learned, and how much of a distance will you have created from the person who's next best in your market? You would easily be the market leader in doing that type of marketing. But most people won't stay the course. Now, if you look at the people who do well, when you see them and say, man, they've got a great social media following, one of the things that you're going to see with them beyond a shadow of a doubt is consistency. They are showing up day after day after day. Yeah, they may have other things working in their favor, but they're not showing up once every 3 weeks doing a video. They're not sending a newsletter once every 2 weeks and saying, hey, sorry, I've been busy. No, they're showing up consistently because they're treating this knowing that the gold is at the end of those small, smart, consistent actions. So if you want to build a business that's timeless, if you want to build a business that really yields rewards to you almost indefinitely, then we need to start embracing this day after day, racking up one small win after another, taking small steps towards where we're trying to go. If you do that, man, success becomes so much easier, and you feel at the end of every day, you feel almost invigorated because you took one small step. You inched forward towards your ideal business. And maybe some days, instead of inching forward, you made a yard or two leap. But no matter what, you made progress. And that's how we get where we're trying to go. And that's what separates the average from the extraordinary in a lot of cases. And it's a chance for you to do the same.